Well, the United First Parish Church, the Church of Presidents in Quincy Center, is holding a Quincy Transgender Day of Remembrance Vigil. This is happening on Monday, November 20th at 7 p.m. at the church. The Reverend Rebecca Froome has stopped on by to tell us a little bit about what the event is all about and how you might be able to attend. So, Reverend, good to see you. Thanks for coming over.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's been a little while, actually, since we've chatted. How long have you been at church now?
9.5 years.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. It doesn't seem quite that long. My goodness.
Well, with an over 375-year history, it's just a drop in the bucket.
Exactly,
yeah. It's been wonderful to get to know the church and the Quincy community more and how things have grown and changed over the years.
Yeah, well, it plays, of course, an integral part in the history of the city, but also in the revitalization of what's going on in Quincy Center lately, right? How many members in the congregation now?
We have about 100 members.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Has it bounced back from pandemic?
You know, it really has,
okay,
which
good.
has been wonderful for all of us.
Yeah.
We found our new normal of what's in person, what's multi-platform, what's online.
Right,
yeah.
right. So this is, as I mentioned, the Transgender Day of Remembrance Vigil. So maybe before we talk about the actual event, what is Transgender Day?
Yeah, so the Transgender Day of Remembrance, which is on November 20th every year, is a national day of observance to remember the transgender people in our country who have been killed, who have experienced violence and been killed by transphobic violence. And so the vigils usually involve saying the names of everyone who has died over the past year and honor their life and commit to building a world where people of all genders and sexualities can live safely.
Do you know about how long this particular day has been going on nationally?
Oh goodness, I regret that I do not know that.
Okay, even just roughly. Do you have
I think
a
several
sense?
decades.
Several decades?
Yeah.
Really, okay. Is this the first one for United First Parish Church?
Yes, and I believe it's the first one for the city of Quincy.
Okay, so talk about the process for putting this event together, if you could.
Yeah, well, it's a collaborative event that we're doing in partnership with the Quincy Interfaith Network, Q Pride Festival, and the city's LGBTQ Commission, that stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender and queer. So we've worked together to create an event that will include this outdoor vigil where we will light a candle and ring a bell for each of the people that we are honoring. And afterwards, there will be a reception in our parish hall where our different community partners will have informational tables, and it's an opportunity for people to connect and learn more about building this world that we dream about going forward.
How many folks will you be honoring that evening?
Over 50, 34 of whom were killed, and the remaining who died by suicide, another form of violence that comes from transphobia.
Yeah, this nationwide?
This is nationwide,
okay.
yes.
Any locally, without mentioning names, of course?
None that are local. There is one individual from Massachusetts who died by suicide.
Okay. Do you know, will any relatives of folks that have been impacted by this be in attendance?
Well, everyone is impacted.
Yeah.
So I do not believe that we have family of folks who have died, but these deaths show that there is a warranted culture of fear for transgender people and their beloveds. You know, that this threat of violence is something that they live with.
We should maybe explain to folks what transgender is, Reverend.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. So transgender refers to people whose gender identity is different than their biological sex at the time of birth. I come to this conversation as a cisgender ally, and cisgender means that my birth biology matches my gender identity as a woman, and I move through the world with the ease of my physical presentation matching my own identity. So transgender individuals may be folks who were born with male biology and are women and transition to the other gender. And it also includes folks who are non-binary, meaning that they identify either with both or with neither gender. So it really shows that gender identity is on a bit of a spectrum.
Okay. Why does the church feel that it's important to recognize this day?
Well, part of the power of faith community and coming together for acts of public observance and public worship is to be a voice of witness, to be able to hold that, a space of both lament and hope in a public space, and to take personal struggles and personal heartaches out of any one individual's experience and show in the public square, quite literally in this case, that there's deep hurt, there's deep fear, and there's deep hope.
So what do you want folks attending the vigil to do during this event?
Yeah. Well, we will be distributing handheld electric candles. Folks are welcome to bring their own if they would like, but we'll have many there.
No open flames.
No open flames, exactly,
Yeah,
for a slew of reasons.
Yeah.
And we will be hearing words of prayer and poetry from faith leaders. A few transgender members of the Quincy area community will speak from their own experience. And then we will read the names of those who have died, many tragically young, in their teens or their 20s. And after each name, light a candle in honor of that person and ring the bell. So we ask for people to attend with an open heart. That's what to bring, is to bring an open heart and listen to the experiences of our transgender siblings around the country.
Do you feel that folks who identify as transgender or non-binary would benefit from attending such an event?
I deeply hope so.
Yeah.
I think having a space where one's pain can be acknowledged publicly is so important as a human experience. And anytime someone's in a vulnerable population within our country, having their pain be publicly witnessed can be healing. It can be hard, you know, like people will make their own choices about if they want to attend an event that will go so deep to the heart. But we hope that it will be a space for lament and solace for our transgender community members, and a space of grief and witness for allies.
Can you tell me a little bit about some of the organizations that have helped co-sponsor the event, in particular Quincy chapter of PFLAG, Parents, Families, and Friends of Lesbians and Gays?
Yes, and one of the things I'm most excited about for this event is the Coalition of Community Partners. And it's a group of community partners that didn't exist when I started 9 years ago in this position. So PFLAG, Parents and Friends of Lesbians and Gays, is an organization that started many decades ago, I believe in the 70s, and its name reflects that time. And it's a group of allies for the LGBTQ community more broadly. And Quincy is just now starting a PFLAG chapter. It's been encouraged to do that. The organizing for that comes from the city's LGBTQ Commission and Q Pride. And you know, this is a city that really cares about our young people, about our children, our youth, about their education, about supporting them in the fullness of their beings in this very, very diverse setting. Transgender youth and LGBTQ youth more broadly, but especially transgender youth, are at much higher risks of depression, of suicide, of homelessness, because families are not always accepting, churches are not always accepting, schools are not always accepting. So PFLAG creates resources and support for families to then support their LGBTQ children and friends and siblings and beloveds. Because there's so many people who are like, wow, I love my child, and there's just a lot I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
And PFLAG creates resources for loved ones to do their ongoing learning and get their own support. You know, because when your child is under threat, that is so painful for parents and teachers and coaches. So for them to have a supportive space to learn to be allies is crucial, and I'm so happy that Quincy is taking this step.
Yeah, do they have regular meetings? How do folks find out about PFLAG? Do you know any contact information?
Yeah, that currently goes through the LGBTQ Commission of the City of Quincy. They've generally been meeting on second Wednesdays in the evening at United First Parish Church.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get you that information for the show notes.
Okay, yeah, I'm just thinking if parents or friends
Definitely.
watching,
Definitely.
just hearing about this,
Yeah.
they might want to learn
Yeah.
more about it.
And at the event itself on Monday,
Yes.
with the reception afterwards, we'll have information about how people can get
was
involved with PFLAG.
My next
Yeah.
question
Yeah.
actually is, will there be kind of resources available for folks looking for more information? So
Definitely.
there will be.
Yeah,
okay.
it'll be followed. The vigil is outside,
Okay.
and will be followed by this indoor time for information sharing and
Okay.
connection and
All right.
refreshment. Yeah.
As a representative of the faith community here in Quincy,
Mm-hmm.
for folks who may be struggling with their sexual identity right
Mm-hmm.
now and feel kind of lost or
Mm-hmm.
hopeless, what is your message to them?
Well, I deeply believe that each and every one of us matters in the fullness of our being, and that the God of my understanding loves all people in their fullness. And so my message is that you are whole, and you are beautiful, and you are worthy, and there are people who love you, including God, and you are not alone.
Do you need any help organizing this event, Reverend?
Yeah.
Is there volunteer opportunities for
Volunteer
before or
opportunities.
after?
We have a good setup team.
Okay.
It's always great to have people stick around to clean up. I think that's true of all
Absolutely.
events.
Yeah.
And more generally, the information in the reception afterwards, there may be volunteer opportunities with different organizations
Okay.
coming out of that.
Okay. Anything else we should let folks know about right now?
That's it,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
When worship services at the church?
Yes, our worship services are on Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. And whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are in your journey, you are welcome in our space.
Okay.
Yeah.
But again, it's Quincy Transgender Day of Remembrance Vigil, Monday, November 20th, 7 p.m. on the granite steps in front of the United First Parish Church, and then
Yes.
the reception indoors afterwards. Let's hope the weather cooperates.
Yes.
Folks who would like more information, maybe give the church office a call.
Or go to our website, ufpc.org.
Okay, great. Thanks for coming by, Reverend. Good to talk to you.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And thank you for watching us here at AEM Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano. We'll see you next time.